every single proposed state ever battle royale, and I mean ever. I'm thinking to fit all these on the map, even if it was proposed by just like one drunk dude at some point, it's on here. We've gone from 50 states to now 127 for some reason. A very popular one here in my home state of California is the proposed Jefferson state. This is supposed to take almost everything north of San Francisco and including southern parts of Oregon. In fact, all of California had to be split up in order to do this proposed state battle royale. Breaking up California has been an idea for a long time. I think we could have actually broken it down even more by doing the 6-state California proposal. Another big state that people have had ideas to break down is also Texas. Pretty sure North Texas here has about 11 people living in it. Alaska, which is the biggest state in the US, they've been broken down 3 times. There's also Southern Florida, Northern Florida, and whatever that is. I don't want to butcher the pronunciation there. I looked into this recently. I believe South Kentucky here was supposed to be called Transylvania at one point. It was known as the Transylvanian Territory. Long Island has become its own state. Then there's New York and the Empire. Finally, there's even territory outside of modern US borders. So we've actually taken a lot from Mexico here. I think we're kind of dipping down into Chihuahua and Sonora, these Mexican states. But also we have the state of Cuba, which historically this was a possible state. We literally occupied that island until 1902. And then of course we have US overseas territories, which have always been proposed as becoming the next like 51st state or whatever that is. Although technically DC isn't even really here. Well, it is, just with a different name. There are some pretty disturbing city-states up in this map as well that I don't think are going to do very well in this battle royale. Like, for instance, McDonald's. Why am I just thinking Ronald here leading that? God, that's so creepy. So starting this off, the biggest state now in terms of area is Colorado. The former 50 states have been balkanized so much that Colorado is now the biggest. Also, this new state, Trans-Pecos, which is like a combination of West Texas and New Mexico. Didn't even realize that Alabama and Mississippi's coastal territory has been turned into West Florida. Ooh, man, my money's on Chicagoland. That's a fun one. Especially when considering I've heard up to 50% of all people from Illinois just live in the Chicago metropolitan area. Red Wisconsin versus blue Wisconsin. Already, not many Americans live in this part of the map. Since the states are even smaller, I mean, I'm thinking some of these places have like 100,000 people living in them. Maybe even less when it comes to this one. Oh, Westsylvania, I've heard of that one, but West Connecticut. Oh man, even these islands got their independence. Boston is free from Massachusetts. New England's gonna be a mess. Indian Stream? Alright, I apologize. There's just so many Easter eggs to look at. I didn't want to miss something because everyone's gonna die like right now. Alright, here we go. We're starting up the game and we have a bunch of people obviously going after the sea territories first. Alaska's really gonna be able to make jumps into, well, Mexico it looks. And we have our first war, Virginia versus Kanawha something. Long Island has formed a natural friendship with New York. Makes sense. Also, Chihuahua here is allying to the tail of Alaska. Didn't take long for New Jersey to immediately fight itself. North Jersey has won that. Baja, Arizona was killed, I guess. Man, that's kind of a really cool name. I missed that. A lot of these new states are actually dying because they're a lot smaller. Alabama, my birth state, took over something. Ooh, North Arkansas versus Missouri. That's probably not going to go well. And it did not. It got taken over. Holy crap, this is going way too fast. I'm going to lower the speed. North Georgia allying to Dade. So glad we lost that weird border war that Maryland has. This state almost has all the peninsula. Hawaii's declared war on Alaska. I'm surprised that Hawaii isn't broken down into each individual island. It's funny, we did jam 127 states on here, but there's technically even more, probably. Massachusetts regained the state of Boston. They kind of do need each other. It feels weird that they don't. There's a place called Little Egypt down here in Illinois. What is going on? Maine is over here slowly taking back things over, I guess. North Massachusetts. There's a lot of names I still missed. Louisiana just got back Wynn, which was like a city-state, basically. Quite literally a city-state. You know, normally when you use that phrase city-state, you think of like the Greek city-states. These really are city-states. Callaway is a city, but it is technically on this map a state. Oh, so is St. Louis. That's something I never thought I'd see. Texas has declared war on the northern Marianan Islands. You just don't see that a lot. And Alaska has been taken over, so Alaska's getting even bigger down here. New Mexico is kind of united somewhat here. They still have to go after Chihuahua. Also, we have Central California going after Coastal California. Now, this would be a pretty, well, it's interesting. I don't think they have LA. This is a California with just like the San Francisco Bay, maybe Oakland. Well, I think that's getting taken out, but it didn't stretch all the way down for Los Angeles. That's under Reagan. Idaho going after a very small Montana. Oklahoma trying to get back their famous panhandle. They kind of need that, and they did, but you know what? They don't really look the same still. That looks very short. North Florida was just conquered by Southern Florida. Ooh, and there goes Central California. They did get taken out by Coastal California. Also, there goes, that wasn't Idaho. That was who? Cascadia had just Cascadia just died. Columbia took that over, which makes sense. This is closest to British Columbia up here, the province province in Canada. I guess I don't know a whole lot of these proposed states. I've heard of some of them for sure, and I'm not surprised to see others. Mississippi versus Arkansas. Arkansas. People get so mad when I pronounce it intentionally wrong like that. I think it's funny though. It does look like Arkansas. We've got a little triple three. Oh no, West Virginia is not a part of that. I thought that, okay, Letcher, they got some more territory. Red Wisconsin is going after the Up, which is now officially known as the Superior, no longer in Michigan territory. Chihuahua has now declared war on Alaska, and there's a really weird, like, three-way going. It's only 2 states. Sonora is in it. So the 2 Mexican states are fighting each other with Hawaii and Alaska kind of as well. Like, all the overseas, outside other countries' territory, they're going at it. Essex was just conquered by, I think it was New Hampshire. Look at Rhode Island go. Rhode Island no longer is that impressive. They're not the smallest state anymore. There's several other way smaller places. There's a place called Greene. I guess there is. Greene and Arkansas are friends. West Connecticut joining the Westphalia Commonwealth just sounds like a good thing to do. Now you just need Westmoreland. So Superior took out Wisconsin, but Wisconsin still lives on. That was Red Wisconsin that died. Been playing for 11 years. There's still 100 states, over 100 on the map. And now South Georgia just conquered my birth state of Alabama. We still live on in West Florida though, I guess technically. The Wazoo. We're living in the Wazoo. Colorado, which I don't know is the... are they still the biggest country in the state in the world? They're going after New Mexico. It's actually technically Reagan. Reagan is now the biggest state officially because they have conquered a little bit of Central California. That's what's really given them a lot of the land. Louisiana took over the Northern Mariana Islands. They stole that away from Texas, it appears. Guam, America, Samoa, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, just not trying to make anyone too angry, I think. Arkansas versus Louisiana, but now Eastern Texas is helping out. Oh, Arkansas. I don't like your chances, Arkansas. Okay, now they're probably going to officially change your name to Arkansas. The Superior Peninsula, really liking their chances over here. They look nice and cornered off, but then again, they have a pretty big rival, Minnesota, that's looking pretty giant. Oh man, a lot of movement out of New England. There's Newington and Rye, which I didn't even know existed before. New Connecticut. There's also Vermont. Nebraska has joined the McDonald's Confederation, which I think, oh, they do still exist somehow. Wow, there's actually a lot of people in the McDonald's Confederation. No one loves McDonald's more than all these. There's so many states involved in this. That's crazy. I would say about half the states, or a little over half, are in alliances right now. Connecticut just conquered New York and Long Island. Wow, that's crazy. There we go. Now that peninsula looks a lot cleaner. We've got Baja California facing off against Sonora and all of Alaska and a lot of Hawaii. It makes sense that those 2 overseas territories would go after Sonora. If you imagine where they actually are, Alaska's here, Hawaii's here. I mean, I guess they would go after Mexico. There's been a revolt. Wait, Hawaii just got their independence from Alaska, so Hawaii is back, baby. It was that easy. I actually forgot they could do that. Colorado, who still hasn't conquered New Mexico yet. They're also going after West Kansas, though. And here goes Jefferson. Really, I don't know what state that is. I probably should know that, though. Illinois was just conquered by Forgotonia, which they're definitely not going to be forgotten anymore, at least by Illinois. We've got naval warfare between Michigan and New York in the Great Lakes. At least I'm imagining it's the Great Lakes. They're not here right now. Ooh, and technically the state of Texas really being smashed. Oh, they're gone. Okay, so now it's just Lincoln and, how do you pronounce that again? I don't know. I'm just going to call it East Texas. There goes Guam after American Samoa. Okay, so the islands, the overseas territories are starting to fight. There goes Puerto Rico also. Oh, Cuba actually took them out. These poor islands, they actually don't have any friends. Well, oh yeah, these guys are dead. Oof, Washington took out Ohio. Finally, that menace is gone. Montana's slowly regaining their actual territory back. Actually, they're starting to somewhat lose this war now, as soon as I started looking at them. Here's Columbia with so many friends. They're going after this Montana, or this actually northern Idaho. Now that almost all the map has friends, I mean, there's still actually a large amount that don't have friends, but a lot of gold is being sent around. The Navajo have just been conquered by Arizona. Missouri is back, baby. They formed actually out of that McDonald's coalition thing. Indiana is going to be the one that has to maybe take out Chicagoland. Virginia trying to take out Nova, but they're losing a lot of land. They're getting dangerously close to that Virginia capital, and there it goes. They're dead now. So we have the Empire, which is basically just New York at this point, because they have, well, they kind of almost have Long Island back. They're losing this war against Pennsylvania. Maybe I talked too soon. Just now starting to notice how this is still a very ugly map. We're down to 77 states, though. Oof, there goes coastal California. Look at Baja California go. Oh, Reagan died as well. And Baja California has many of those 2 cities. It's just Jefferson County that's an original Californian state that it still exists. Meanwhile, Lincoln doing pretty good here in Texas. South Georgia becoming the real Georgia. They're also going after South Carolina, and they just took out South Carolina. Are they going to do another one with Tennessee? Superior now going after Michigan. Oh, Superior was kind of struggling. Look at blue Wisconsin go. They did a naval invasion here. There goes the Up. Oh man, and Michigan got back the up. The borders are ugly again. Montana was just conquered by Idaho, and now they're going after this state. I think now more than 75% of people are on teams. Oh man, look at these poor guys. South Kentucky surrounded, or in other words, Transylvania, like I said in the very beginning, Transylvanian colonial territory. That was their name back in the day. Vermont is now back, and Vermont has formed out of a lot of different nations. Also, Indian Stream, were they always this big? I mean, they weren't always this big, but yeah. Technically, Arizona is the #1 nation in terms of land area. Then it's South Georgia, and then it's Jefferson. Jefferson looks pretty big. Oh, those are actually, that's by gold. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's gold. That makes more sense. Arizona is still #1, then it's Nevada, then it's Jefferson. I see. My bad. The Texas states, northern Texas has just been taken out. Is this still Texas? This doesn't, I mean, because their capital's not in Texas, I don't feel like this is Texas. I mean, it kind of is, kind of. Oh, Baja California's gone. This is now Sonora. Ooh, and there goes Michigan. Oh, we're losing a whole bunch of people. Michigan's gone, Missouri's gone, and this state is gone. I feel bad because I can't pronounce some of them. South Dakota was conquered by North Dakota, so there can be only one Dakota. I don't know how long that's really going to last, although maybe they're friends. They're friends technically, until they get backstabbed. Iowa was conquered by Callaway. Also, there was a revolt. North Carolina's back, as well as Pennsylvania. They're back. Sometimes they come back bigger than they were before. Callaway was finally conquered. St. Louis is still going. I want to know which city-state's still going to. I feel like it's going to be McDonald's. Is McDonald's literally like based off of the corporation? Apparently, the headquarters is in Chicago, so I guess not. South Utah was just conquered. So was North Utah. Both Utahs getting conquered instantly. Here goes Mississippi with the help of South Georgia. They're going after West Florida. There goes West Florida, and now Cuba is literally surrounded. How are they going to keep this up? I guess they're... Oh! Whoa! What a comeback. They're going to survive for a little bit longer. I don't know for how much longer, though. There's technically 41 states, so there's actually less states than we actually have in real life. These are the real 50 states left, if there was 50. I was waiting to use that line, but then I missed it. No more perfectly straight borders from the U.S. It's now all really ugly. There goes Oklahoma. Mississippi's doing really good. Wow, St. Louis was doing fine. I guess at some point, Mississippi must have taken over McDonald's, so I think all the city-states are officially gone. The Empire was just conquered by Long Island. I forgot Long Island came back. That's crazy. They came out of a Pennsylvania. There is kind of a New England alliance going on over here. Well, now they're technically... That is New England. Okay, so they got rid of their only foe. Man, look at this team. That team is crazy. And I think the final state that was technically Texan, unless you want to call this one Texan, they're all gone. California still has their state with Jefferson, and I think Florida is also all gone. So the 3 most populated states, out of all those, the only proposed state left is California's. Not going to make people too happy. There's technically only 4 or 5 giant alliances, and there's a lot of places. Okay, that's probably a smart idea, but Pennsylvania, you're more than likely going to get backstabbed because these places have nothing else to do but to attack you. Another team is formed this way. Ooh, Arizona was just conquered by Idaho. Sonora, also the Mexican state, was finally taken out. We're down to less than a quarter of the states left. If Pennsylvania can put the team on their back and get some dubs for New England, then maybe that coalition will be looking pretty alright. Or basically, Pennsylvania will be looking pretty alright because they're going to be the ones that take all this land. But they have all these nations back here literally funding their empire. Look at how much money. Is this Vermont that has this? Kentucky technically has the most money at 52,000, but they're going to be needing it since they're literally on the front lines. Biggest state right now in terms of area is Idaho, then it's Mississippi. Okay, things keep on shifting. It's hard to even keep up. The New England alliance has broken down, which is probably for the... Jeez, Pennsylvania. That is insane. That was insane levels. Okay, Long Island has literally been pushed back to... Is this Nantucket? What's that called again? I thought I saw it. Either way, they still have an island, so it's just not long anymore. There's really just 4 massive alliances. Well, there's really just 3 massive alliances. There's unifications happening, so Mississippi just ate that city-state. I forgot about unifications. Oh, Idaho backstabbed Jefferson, so there goes the Californian state. Wow, Idaho's looking huge. What team did you join? Okay, you only have 1 friend right now. That's a little concerning. Oh, you just ate them, so you'll probably find another friend. Colorado ate somebody else, so there's really only a couple states left. We're starting to get to that late game, so everyone's consolidating. Unfortunately for Colorado, they are smack dab in the middle of so many wars. This is not a position you want to be in. Hey, Alaska, clearly you need to form an alliance with Guam, dude. I mean, you don't really have any other options. There is literally 10 nations left. Out of all the new proposed... If you think about it, there was 50 states. There are 50 states, and there's now left with 8. There were so many new proposed states. There were more new fictional proposed states than there were real states. There's only 50. We started with 127. Yet, looking at the statistics, almost everything is just a regular state. Except for Winston, they're just going to get eaten up, and South Georgia doesn't really count. South Georgia is different, I guess. But still, 6 out of 8 were original states. Man, those states were like, we're not going to let any of these proposed states get one up on us. The alliances have shifted quite heavily. Now there's 2 up here and there's 3 up here. That is insane levels of like fastness out of Pennsylvania. Colorado, who started off as the biggest state, is still going. They've had to move their capital though, obviously. Oh man. So this team, everyone is ganging up on Mississippi because they know they're the biggest. Wow, literally a massive coalition to stop the South from rising again, I guess. Ooh, Idaho's finally backstabbed Colorado as they were looking pretty weak. And there it is. Colorado just ran out of money. It's over. It is over. They're still alive somehow, but because they're so small, they're probably going to get eaten, to be honest, by Idaho. Ooh, Pennsylvania, you run out of money. Pennsylvania barely holding on. They ran out of money. Now, can you peace out before you die? They might be able to move their capital. They moved their capital several times, and that did not work. Mississippi now on top, looking like they could win this, but I don't know how much money they have. Oh boy. Okay, Idaho, I saw them just annex Alaska. They just annexed Alaska. Oh boy. Okay, so Mississippi literally being there. South Georgia trying their best to fund this Mississippi army, but they can't do it. They might be able to peace out. Oh, why would you? That's evil. That's evil, you guys would do that. That's smart, though, of Mississippi, because now, weirdly, Idaho's paying them to defeat South Georgia. South Georgia, who has ran out of money. Mississippi, meanwhile, has now shifted their... This is crazy. That was some smart diplomatic play. Who is it? Mississippi or Idaho? Two states I did not expect to see here. Bam is... Idaho ran out of money, but they might be able to peace out. Mississippi has 2,000 gold, so that might not be enough, and that is definitely not enough. And there you go. There we have the winner of Mississippi. Did not expect that, especially when, you know, statistically, Mississippi tends to be kind of on the bottom of a lot of little, you know, charts and stuff like that about the U.S. But let's go. Rare Mississippi dub. My patrons on Patreon, thank you. Carino is best girl. Sebi, if you hear this, I love you. Jack Draven's annoying friend. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. Drew on your dad, back with the milk. Look outside. Amateur archaeology. Of that normal. Carmel S. Frederick Tiddle. Inquisitor Zero. Mexican John Denver. Carino is best girl. Lemons Limes. Luxembourg Lover. Orton 516. Robert Rye the Pie. The Great Ralphie. And Zany Boy